Jurassic School is boring. Today it was deadly. It started as soon as we arrived. Heavy, pregnant clouds smothered the air. Something wasn't right. Out of nowhere, a car slung onto the playground, followed by a stamp of an unwelcome creature.
We tried to get inside. Where was all the teachers? We wondered as we frantically dashed across the playground. The beast, which was now hunting us, looked down on us with deadly, menacing eyes.
Desperately, we hid round corners, praying the creature wouldn't smell us. We were terrified, hands shaking, lips trembling, screams of fear. Covering our ears, the starved, angry beast let out an ear-splitting shriek. Finally, it spied us, with the ground trembling under our feet. We sprinted quickly and anxiously across the field.
Out of our breath and petrified, we tried to stick together. Had it gone, first came the footsteps, then the breath of the beast got closer and closer. We closed our eyes. All went quiet. Discussing our next move, we noticed a shadow blackened the sky. It came from nowhere.
Diving for cover, we managed to narrowly escape the dinosaur's deadly bite. Everything went black.
Scared, frightened, terrified, we swiftly ran as the huge dinosaur tossed a heavy metal car and started chasing after us. I was petrified. Quickly, we ran as the king of all beasts chased us. My hand was shaking. I was clenching my fists. What was I going to do? If I'd have stayed at home, if the dinosaurs hadn't have escaped, then I wouldn't be in danger. We hid silently as the T-Rex plodded past. How had this happened? Normally talking of playtime, but suddenly, out of nowhere, in the blink of an eye, I was running for my life as the gigantic dinosaur chased me. Running and running and running from the gigantic dinosaur. In disbelief, how were we going to get away? Being as quiet as we could as the dinosaur strolled past, I thought this was going to be the end of me. Randomly talking, and in the blink of an eye, we have to dive out of the way to save our souls.
It was an ordinary, peaceful day, and the people were outside chatting. Suddenly, there was an ear-splitting crash, and a car nearly squished them. And a loud scream was heard, and it was a T-Rex. The screams were heard by people in the playground, and soon it was chasing after them too. They were terrified. Dun, dun. People hid behind everything they could find as they could hear the crashing steps of this monstrous beast. Some people didn't realise what was going on, but they soon found out. The echoing roar filled the whole school with terror and disbelief. People ran for their lives as this beast chased them for lunch. They stood as still as they could as the T-Rex relies on movement to see. People were chatting normally, but were caught off guard and they had to dive to survive.
I was talking with my friend, and then I saw a car crash over my head, and then a big foot touched the ground.
The next minute came again and tried eating all my friends, and we were terrified. All my friends were talking, so I looked around the corner and there stood was a gigantic dinosaur. Me and my friends were playing Tig, and there stood a massive dinosaur. We were stood against the wall. We heard a loud roar. Me and my mates were having a race, but then we looked behind us and saw a massive dinosaur. Looked around the corner and saw nothing. 1 minute later, we looked again and saw a strong, powerful dinosaur.
1 minute we were in the car park.
Me and my friends were doing coconut crack, and then we saw a vicious dinosaur, so we dived away. 1 minute we were in the car park, calmly talking. The next minute we were diving out of the way of the flying car. A gigantic footprint came crashing down, leaving a huge dent in the concrete. We were playing a game of Tig and having a laugh at break when suddenly we found ourselves running for our lives. As a huge scaly amphibian came thundering down the narrow alleyway. We pressed ourselves against the brick wall. We were shivering in fright, whimpering like frightened puppies.
It was just a normal, usual day. Excited, nervous and joyful, we carried on walking to the school gates when suddenly a giant noisy dinosaur barged in our way. Shocked, we ran away.
We finally made it through the school playground. We looked like we were safe, but in a blink of an eye, there was something chasing us again.
We ran as quick as lightning round a bendy corner to where we could hide and hope the ugly beast did not find us. But he did. Round the corner we went, and with one ear-piercing roar, he sent us tumbling down.
We ran and ran as fast as we could. There was no time to take a breath. We ran as fast as light. We ran round the same corner again. Hopefully he didn't find us.
With a sigh of relief, he had finally gone. All the children screamed excitedly, but in the corner of the eye, a tail whacked the wall. They pointed in disappointment as the beast was back. He knocked us on the floor in one whack.
It was a normal day at school, excited, happy, jolly. Then suddenly they heard a thud. Then a car smashed over their heads. They ran for their lives from the T-Rex. 3 girls and 1 boy ran from this giant meat eater. Scott shocked, terrified. Ah! Then 5 boys and 5 girls hid behind the wall for the T-Rex to come past. All of them were scared, shocked, terrified. They didn't know what to do over the loud T-Rex screaming at their ears. 3 boys ran as fast as they could on the field so they couldn't get eaten. The same again. 5 boys and 5 girls hid from the T-Rex at the back. Very, very shocked and scared, terrified. 4 boys ran from the T-Rex and the nail got eaten.
One day, in a peaceful morning, 4 children were playing happily until everything turned up. Something kicked a red car. Ah, dinosaur, run for your life! Ah, run for your life, a dinosaur! Ah! He's just doing he's doing it anyway. Shh, be quiet. The dinosaur will hear us. I hear something where he went, ah, it's a dinosaur. Whoa. Shh, be quiet. Ah! Shh, 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 shh. Run for your life. I'm so scared. Terrified. Relieved. Ah! So scared. So terrified. So shocked. Run for your life! Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, touch your tail on the toe. If it squeals, let it go. Get down! Yum, num, num for my tummy, tummy, tummy. If I wasn't there talking, if I hadn't run away, if I hadn't seen the T-Rex, then none of this would have happened. Swiftly, they ran away from the enormous, terrible dinosaur, yet it was gaining on them. Scared, terrified, petrified, I glued my back to the wall as the horrible T-Rex went past. With a split second to spare, they shot away from the gigantic, terrible dinosaur. I stuck to the wall as the T-Rex roared. Its foul, putrid breath hit me like a truck. They sprinted away as fast as a cheetah. Scared, terrified, petrified, I glued my back to the wall. Turned around and saw a very big beast. The alarm went off. Children were in grave danger. They ran inside to take cover in the danger cloakroom. The big T-Rex went through the passageway. The children were hiding behind the unstable walls. They were glued to it. They ran and ran and ran, and Leo took the lead. The children covered their ears as the T-Rex roared angrily. The children ran and ran and ran, hoping they would survive against the giant beast trying to kill them. Luckily, the T-Rex did not see the children, so they swiftly escaped from the giant thing. 4 children were playing, but then someone said, "Look over there," and suddenly dived out of the situation.
It was a normal school day. Do these children know that there was something mysterious? Oh look, it's a car flying with a dinosaur stomped onto the ground. We were in the school playground and it chased after us, but we escaped into the tree. If only they were in bed, if only they were in a different country, if only they were not alive, then it would never sniff them out. And then they ran off from the T-Rex. And then the roar popped their ears. And they ran as far as they could until their legs exploded. We hid behind a brick wall. Hopefully it would not get us. And it gobbled one person up. It was frightening. 4 lads were planning a surprise for their friends. Then one of them noticed it. They all dived into the classroom, but 3 did not make it. And the person who saw the dinosaur first survived and got away on his bike home.
If I hadn't have left home, if I hadn't have left school, none of this would have happened. A big, meaty dinosaur came, crashed people's cars, even Miss Morrison's. The cars flew through the sky, and now it's chasing us. Run, run, swiftly we run, and now the dinosaur's coming again. Some of us tried to hide, but it wasn't worth it. The giant dinosaur came again. Some of us ran. Some of us spotted it. Some of us heard the noise of the terrifying scream. And now we're running on the field. The day got darker. The bell rang. Emergency. With dinosaurs everywhere. Some of us hide, but it's not worth it. People play until he comes, the big dinosaur.
With its humongous teeth, it grabbed the car and threw it over my tiny little head. There were 12 but 9 dinosaurs, but there was nothing we could do except run. Scared, shocked, determined, I swiftly ran round the corner.
But then I heard the beast coming.
The 3 children ran as if their life depended on it.
Which they did.
children were horrified, scared.
4 9-year-old children were playing, but suddenly a hungry deadly dinosaur came stomping along.
As we were talking kindly, we heard footsteps. I'm too young to die. Frightened, alarmed, petrified, we ran away from the evil, violent beast. If we hadn't have come to school, if we didn't wear our school uniform, we wouldn't have got chased. As we kept running, we felt more terrified. We tried to run, we tried to hide, but it was no use. Even though it was fun, we were still scared. This was nearly the last place we could go. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he came again. The only option was to jump.
At playtime, the hard bricky floor shook, and out of nowhere, the ferocious dinosaur appeared. And before you knew it, a car flew over their heads. Swiftly, they ran for their lives. The kids were getting chased by the dinosaur. They did not know where and what to do. The dinosaur was looking for food and thought of children. The children ran for their lives. The dinosaur was gone. That was they fought. And the dinosaur growled and the kids jumped. They were running for their lives because they could not stand it. They were absolutely scared. And these were hiding. And the dinosaur did not see them. And they all tried, and the dinosaur comes and then they dive.